Well, we are finally to Pennsylvania. Lots of high fives when we hit that border. And although we're going to the other side of Pennsylvania today, it felt like a real accomplishment. We just traveled across the country, starting in Portland and coming all the way almost to the other coast. And we are getting ready to go to Soul Camp tomorrow, which has been kind of the scheduled rush end of this trip. I'm realizing now that I would have given myself a lot more time because it is not in my pleasure to drive 500 miles a day. No. And I was having a lot come up yesterday, even though there was this great accomplishment of making it here. It was a rough day. We're exhausted. We're totally exhausted. And David didn't sleep well the night before, and I'm premenstrual and emotional and short, just put it that way. And we got into a big fight yesterday, and I was crying, and things were falling apart, and everything's ruined, and this whole trip is a disaster. But that's not actually the truth, like one day, one section of one day is challenging. And I remember that nothing's ever lost, nothing's ever, totally broken, nothing's like, it's not like we messed anything up, it's not like we're not totally awesome married people. But I just got a little downhearted yesterday. I got really tender and sad inside myself. I was like, why? Why is this happening right now? It's like we finally made it and we're to the promised land and we're going to Soul Camp and everything's gonna be awesome. Like, why now? And I had to sit back and remember just the divine perfection of everything and recognize that, like, okay, all this stuff is coming up for us right now for a reason, because it is in service to whatever we're meant to experience right now. And just remembering, like, it's been so important and impactful to remember along every step of this journey that everything is for our highest good and upliftment. And so what I'm recognizing is like, okay, yeah, David was having like an experience yesterday, and how perfect that we are rolling right into Soul Camp where he can open himself up to what that experience is making available to him. And also for myself too, recognizing like, oh fuck, I'm gonna start my period like right on the day of Soul Camp. Like, why? I was like, okay, I gotta trust that there's a whole lot of stuff I'm meant to be releasing at this camp, or there's something that, something symbolic or something where actually me bleeding during this process is going to be really, really beneficial and perfect. And I need to trust that, and I'm willing to look for all the goodies that that's going to entail instead of sitting here and being pissed about it and being like, oh, that sucks, oh, blah, blah. It's like I'm willing to recognize the divine perfection of the universe and recognize myself as part of it and just go with it, go with the flow and not fight it. And yesterday we were fighting it. We were fighting being so tired. We were fighting being so emotional. We were fighting like feeling our feelings instead of just letting it all be okay, letting it all be perfect, letting us both cry in a big puddle and just loving that. And that's not always easy, but that's my intention. It's my intention to just be with myself through everything and to know that everything is always ending up fantastic for me. Even if in the present moment stuff feels sticky or hard or just nasty or whatever. So it's like that's the mindset that I'm willing to adopt for myself because number one, it works for me, and number two, it just feels better, and number three, it just produces so many fruits. There's so many beautiful breakthroughs and insights and abundant, loving opportunities that come out of living with that perspective. So that feels good. That feels really good. And my gratitude for today is just our ability to move through and not hold on to stuff, to really like let go and be with ourselves and be with each other. And the creation that I'm celebrating is that I have been desiring so strongly for yoga and meditation and for grounding in myself and time to like reflect and be in myself. So, guess what I've manifested? Soul Camp. It's just what a divine, perfect manifestation of all the things I've been desiring. And I've been sitting there like making myself wrong for, oh, you didn't do yoga today, or oh, you didn't meditate today, or oh, you didn't this. But it's like the entire universe is opening up and saying, you would like to do yoga and meditate? Well, here you go. Here's a beautiful campground and campus full of other people that would love to do this with you. We're going to make it so easy and supportive with 3 different classes a day and blah, blah, blah. So well done, Brianna. Well done manifesting that one. And my desire moving forward, like what I'm calling in for myself is just like really a lot of open-heartedness, like really just allowing myself to be in love with the people, be in love with the experience, and just give lots of hugs. I feel like, especially when I would go into like a USM weekend and I knew that my heart was going to be expanded, I would get like really scared to walk in the door because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be seen. I'm going to be so seen and so vulnerable. But it's like, my intention is to be seen and be vulnerable and be loving and to share that loving with everyone. So that's what I have. We're going into 5 days of Soul Camp, and I'll be so, so happy to report what comes out of it. I love you all.